You ignore your phone for a while. Then you notice something strange. The people you always text never reached out first. And suddenly, one uncomfortable question appears. If you stop trying, would they slowly disappear from your life? The answer isn't as simple as you think, and it reveals something most people never realize until it's too late. We usually believe that the person who texts first cares more. It feels obvious. If someone wants you in their life, why wouldn't they reach out? But human psychology rarely follows common sense. Sometimes the people who think about you the most are the ones who never send the first message. That contradiction sounds impossible until you understand what's happening inside their mind. Some people don't text first because they assume they're interrupting you. Every notification feels like they're asking for a piece of your attention, and they convince themselves you're probably busy, happier without distractions, or surrounded by more important people. So instead of risking becoming an inconvenience, they wait. Ironically, their silence isn't confidence, it's consideration. But from the outside, consideration looks exactly like indifference. Here's something few people ever talk about. The brain remembers emotional rejection far longer than emotional acceptance. One ignored message can outweigh dozens of good conversations. If someone has been left on read enough times, or even believes they have, they start protecting themselves without realizing it. They don't stop caring. They stop initiating. Because silence feels safer than uncertainty. Now think about someone you know who rarely texts first. Did they actually stop caring? Or did they simply stop risking? But there's another reason, and it's even stranger. Some people secretly believe relationships should happen naturally. They think that if someone truly wants them around, that person will reach out. They don't see themselves as avoiding effort. They see themselves as respecting destiny. It's a quiet psychological trap. Both people wait for the other to make the first move, each believing the silence means something, while in reality, both are waiting for proof they matter. This creates one of the saddest loops in modern relationships. Two people miss each other at the exact same time, while neither one sends a message. Then there are people who were raised to earn affection instead of expecting it. Growing up, love may have arrived only after they behaved perfectly, stayed useful, or avoided becoming a burden. As adults, they carry that invisible lesson everywhere. They don't assume they're welcome. They wait for invitations. They wait for reassurance. They wait for evidence that their presence is wanted before they allow themselves to exist in someone else's space. Most people mistake that behavior for emotional distance. It's actually emotional survival. Here's a thought you've probably never heard before. Sometimes the person who texts first the most is not the one who cares the most. They're simply the one who's less afraid of losing. Confidence often looks like effort because fear isn't slowing it down. Meanwhile, someone with deeper feelings may hesitate for hours, rewrite messages, delete them, and eventually send nothing at all. From the outside, both situations create the same silence. But inside, they're completely different worlds. And then there's ego. Not arrogance. Self-protection disguised as pride. Many people tell themselves, if they wanted to talk, they'd text me. It sounds logical. It sounds mature. But underneath, it's often fear wearing expensive clothes. They aren't refusing to reach out because they don't care. They're refusing because making the first move would force them to face an answer they may not survive emotionally. So they call it standards, when it's actually vulnerability hiding behind a locked door. This is why silence is one of the most misunderstood human behaviors. We treat it like evidence, but silence is often just a symptom. It can mean confidence, it can mean anxiety, it can mean exhaustion, it can mean respect, it can mean fear. The exact same behavior can come from completely opposite emotions. And that's what makes relationships so dangerously easy to misread. The next time someone never texts first, don't immediately assume they've forgotten you. Ask yourself something harder. When was the last time they truly felt safe enough to believe their message would be welcomed? Because people don't always move toward the people they love. Sometimes they move towards certainty. And if certainty is missing, even love can stay silent. The most painful part is this. Years later, two people can honestly believe the other one didn't care, when in reality, Both were quietly waiting for a single message that neither of them ever sent. Sometimes the relationship didn't end because love disappeared. It ended because two frightened minds translated the same silence in completely different ways.